What's up, guys? It's Ty, aka Timberlands, and welcome to week 36. So week 36 marks the beginning of month 9. This means that within the next 4 to 6 weeks, you will have your baby, just depending on how long you carry. But ultimately, it's up to the baby. So literally now, the baby can come at any point in time. So if you haven't started preparing stuff, like definitely start preparing. At 36 weeks, the baby is anywhere from 18 to 19 inches long and weighs about 6 pounds and is about the size of a bunch of kale. Now, usually babies around this time don't really grow too much more in length or height, but they will start putting on pounds the closer you get to 40 weeks. So just be prepared for your baby to start packing on some weight over the next few weeks. Babies born at 36 weeks gestation typically do really well. Sometimes they may need the NICU, sometimes they may not. Sometimes babies born at 40 weeks need NICU. No, it just really depends. But typically babies around this time do well and they look like babies. Like I always say in every video, every pregnancy is different, every baby is different. So it just kind of depends, but like I said, they usually do pretty well. So symptoms for me during week 36, definitely Braxton Hicks. They are starting to get a lot longer. So they last, normally Braxton Hicks I think lasts from like 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Mine are lasting like probably 5 minutes at a time. And sometimes I really just have to like sit down and take it easy. I guess that's also why I'm on bed rest, but they're starting to get pretty uncomfortable and I'm starting to get a little cramping behind them. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that I, relax into them every time I have one that's more uncomfortable than others, and just sit down, drink some water, and chill. Another symptom that I've noticed is an increase in mucus. So the mucus plug at this point starts to shed. Now mucus plugs regenerate. So with as much as I'm shedding, I'm pretty sure it's probably regenerating unless, I don't know. But I'm assuming that I'm just losing a little bit at a time. Some women lose mucus plugs like in one fell swoop, like it all just comes out. But some women just lose it over time. And I can definitely tell that that has increased during week 36, especially after I have a Braxton Hicks contraction that lasted long. Then I'll notice a bit of mucus when I wipe. Fetal hiccups. So I would say probably for the past few weeks, baby has been hiccuping like at least 3 times a day. If you do notice that your baby is hiccuping, do not get on Google. I promise you it is going to freak you out for no reason. At 36 weeks, babies are really nailing down how to suck and swallow. So they're constantly swallowing amniotic fluid and taking practice breaths. So don't get on Google. Don't freak out. If there's at any point where you're worried about something, like if there's decreased movement or you notice that the hiccups are lasting for a ridiculous amount of time or it's happening all the time, like back to back to back, then at that point I will call your provider. But just know if it's just like a few times a day and it lasts for a normal bout of hiccups for people in general, there's really nothing to worry about. Hiccups are actually a pretty good sign because that does mean that the baby is learning how to inhale or swallow. So just look at it that way, but don't get on Google. I feel like I say that almost every other video, but I'm telling you, like, Googling stuff will have you panicking like unnecessarily. So just avoid Google. The other symptom I've been having is just a lot of fatigue. Like I've been really tired, having to take naps more than I've had to this entire time, which honestly I probably should have started taking naps a long time ago, but now it's like my body, like I can't function throughout the entire day if I don't like lay down at some point. So I'm definitely getting like that fatigue is kicking back in, but every now and then I have a burst of energy to organize or clean or something like that. And so when I have those, I use it a little bit, but I make sure that I try to rest as much as possible. At this point, like, you definitely should be resting as much as you can, because when the baby comes, you're probably not gonna rest that much, so enjoy it while you can. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the baby's position. So my baby is positioned in the left occiput anterior position. And basically, I'll bring the camera down so you can see. But the left occiput anterior position is actually an ideal birth position for the baby, because when the baby comes out, it'll kind of do that little spin and then voila. So the left occiput position is basically the baby's back is on the left side, head down. The butt is right here, the femur is there, and then the bottom of the leg is here, and then the feet are usually over here. So if you feel a lot of your kicks over to this side, you get a lot of stretching across this part. You feel soft fluid over here, and then you feel firmness all down the left side. So that is the left occiput anterior, or left occiput anterior position, and it's a great position for birth. So hopefully she stays there. I'm going to manifest that she will stay in this position until it is time for her to come out. I don't want any surprises at the end. Like, I'm just ready to get it over with, y'all. Like, I'm so ready. I know I say that like every video, but I'm ready to have my body back, but also I'm ready, of course, to have my baby. So in 2 days, I will be 37 weeks, which means that in a couple days, we will have made it to term, early term. So at that point, the baby can, like, you know, she can make her entrance at any time and be completely healthy. Hopefully she waits until at least the end of next week, so that her daddy can be there. But we are not on his time. We are not on my time. We are on her time and God's time. So we will just have to see how it goes. So just some stuff, like some updates about me, what I'm doing, how I'm doing. So one, we have everything ready to go. The nursery is set up. You guys will get a nursery tour, I promise. I don't know if it's gonna come before she does, but there will be a nursery tour here in the next month. I have all the stuff set up from my bedroom because she will be sleeping in a co-sleeper next to my bed. And then I also have my birthing center bag ready to go, which I will post a video about that following this one. So we're prepared. We are just now waiting for her to make her lovely arrival, and we have everything that we need for her. So that's really exciting. Let me tell you all the stuff that I take every day now. So I take my prenatal, I take my magnesium, I take my collagen. I just started taking my collagen, and I also have started a probiotic because I just did the group B strep test, and I'm pretty sure I read the results right, but I'm pretty sure it's positive, which is very normal. So if you get a positive GBS test, don't freak out. Most people carry GBS. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. Just depends on a lot of factors, but it's easy to maintain and get rid of. And during pregnancy, usually if you have an OBGYN, they will likely start you on antibiotics, or you can try natural stuff. So I'm basically doing probiotics because they work. And I can post which ones I'm taking if you guys want, but also just decreasing sugar intake is a big thing as well, and also just stay hydrated. So that's how we're dealing with that. But I'm now on probiotics as well, so I feel like I'm constantly taking stuff and putting it into my body, and it gives me a little anxiety because I just hate having to remember all of this stuff. But you know, it's all for me and the baby, so it has to be done. Here in Texas, we are preparing for winter storms, which is really wild. It gets, like, we have cold. We don't really get winter until like beginning of January into like mid-February-ish. So the cold weather really isn't like surprising, but the fact that we have like a winter storm watch is surprising, because in like Southeast Texas, we don't really get winter storms. So we've basically bought everything that we need for the next week, really a couple weeks, but we won't have to go anywhere for this entire week. So that's nice. We're gonna be in here in the warm, hunkering down. I don't plan on doing anything, so I'm hoping that she does not try to make an appearance over the next few days. I would like for this winter storm to have passed so that we can safely travel to the birthing center with no issues. I also don't want my midwife trying to travel to me in that kind of weather. So yeah, we're gonna definitely make sure that we take it real easy. I'm not trying to give her any encouragement to come in the next few days. If you are, especially if you're in Texas, because Texas is not the place to travel when the weather is bad. We, our state does not prepare well for conditions. So please stay in the house. Stay in the house. Honestly, just with what's happened recently, nothing is worth your life. So make sure that you communicate whatever it is you need to communicate to your job, your friends, your family, but stay in the house. Do not risk it. It is not worth it. I promise you. Also, at this point, I'm going to weekly appointments with my midwife. So I will see her every week until this baby is born. And that, I feel like that'll help pass the time, because like at least once a week I have to like make plans to leave the house, which I really haven't liked to do. So the only thing though is that with the winter storm coming through, hopefully that doesn't mean that I have to cancel my appointment this week. I mean, if I have to, then I will, but I guess we'll just see. We'll have to play it by ear, just because the weather in Texas, the weather in general is unpredictable, but in Texas, it's very unpredictable. So let's talk about raspberry tea. So you probably have heard of this, and you probably have heard of women using it to naturally induce labor. There really isn't a researched way to naturally induce labor that has been proven. Most of the evidence is completely anecdotal, and it's always going to be dependent on the mother. But a lot of women swear by it. So that's as much as I'll say about that. However, there are a lot of other benefits for raspberry tea. So there has been studies that talks about it tones the uterus. It kind of helps. It even helps you if you're not pregnant. So like if you, people have said that it helps with their periods and stuff like that. But ultimately, it helps tone the uterus, prep for labor. And a lot of women, they have said that, yeah, it didn't really induce me, but it definitely helped me with the labor and delivery process, especially for moms who have children before. When they compare those two experiences, they say the one after they use the raspberry leaf tea was a lot smoother. And then some women swear by it and say that it definitely threw them into labor. So who knows? I'm not here to say that it's true or not true, but I'm going to be using it just for the purpose of labor prep, and also just because I like to drink, I drink tea anyway. So I think it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Either way, if you're trying to naturally induce labor, I would just say be careful. There's a lot of stuff out there on the internet that isn't so great. So make sure you do your research and you talk to your provider first about things that are safe and that are not safe. Of course, like walking and bouncing on the yoga ball and drinking tea isn't going to really cause harm. But again, just be safe. That is the #1 priority. That's pretty much all I have for y'all. So I'm actually going to record another video right after this one, and it's going to be what's in my birthing center bag. So I'm going to show you guys everything that I will be taking with me to the birth center whenever I am in labor. So please stick around to watch that. As usual, feel free to follow me on social media. I will drop the link down in the description, so you can click on that and follow me on any of those platforms. And then also make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and I will see y'all on the next video.